Today we're going to talk about how to tell if your domain is blacklisted and how to fix it. So why would your website be blacklisted? Some of the most common reasons are you're hosting malware, which means someone's hacked your site and placed some malware on your site. You're not handling user data in a secure manner, such as not having HTTPS. You're being hosted on a server that has a bad reputation, or you're in a bad neighborhood. Essentially, this is where hosting sites, maybe there's a hosting company that you're using and it's being used by a bunch of spammers. And since it's shared hosting, it's on the same IP address. So if their IP is being flagged and you're sharing the same IP, you may get flagged as well. You're linking to malicious or questionable websites, which means that you've been hacked, or maybe you wrote a blog post and you're linking to another website that is also been hacked, or is just promoting malware, and therefore you're linking to it, so Google may uh, blacklist you for that. Or you're doing spammy email practices and your domain is getting flagged that way. How can you check if your domain's been blacklisted by Google? Well, if you go to your web browser and you type in your web address and you get any of these screens here that says that the page has been hacked or attacked, then there's a possibility that if it stays this way for a long period of time, you can get blacklisted. You won't get blacklisted right away if you catch it soon enough, but you don't want it to go too long, because not only is this going to negatively impact your organic rankings in Google and other search engines, but leaving it over a long period of time will blacklist you, and it'll become harder to kind of remedy the issue. And you can also do site colon and search results in Google, and you'll see a little notification that will say in the search results that this site may have been hacked, letting people know that, hey, if you click on this link, we're going to let you know that we think that this site may have been hacked. And then you can use various online tools, which I'll go into right now. To check if you've been blacklisted, there's a couple of sites here that you can check out to see if your IP has been banned or your domain has been banned. And then that'll kind of give you an idea as to the article that I wrote that I'll reference here in the comments. Will give you a full, it's actually a guide to help you figure out if you've been blacklisted and how to get unblacklisted. Some of the tools and resources here are different based on what you want to check. They all do kind of similar things, but yet different. You have MX Toolbox, which checks your website's mail server to see if it's been blacklisted, all the way down to Scurry Site Check, which checks to see if there's any blacklisting going on in Google, or if any things like Norton has flagged your site. So if, let's say, if Norton's blacklisted your domain, if somebody has Norton on their website and they go on their computer and they go to your website and it's been blacklisted, they'll get a warning. Now, how do you get removed from Google's blacklist? Well, the first thing you have to do is figure out why you've been blacklisted. Have you been blacklisted because you've been hacked? If you've been hacked, you have to clean the files and make sure everything is nice and clean, and that there's no more malware. If you don't have malware, then you have to make sure you're not linking to any sites that are malicious. Also, always make sure your plugins, if you're using WordPress, are always up to date. Always back up your website so that you have a fresh install. If Monday your site is fine and Tuesday your site gets hacked, you can easily go back to the first day on Monday. But the issue there becomes, if you don't know how you got hacked, then that hole is still vulnerable. So if it was through a WordPress plugin that you didn't update and you revert back to Monday, well, then there's a good chance that you'll get hacked again. So if you're going to have a backup, make sure that you know what the reason is so that you can prevent it from happening again in the future. Safeguard login pages, install security software, use services to help you make sure that your files are always clean and safe. There's a bunch of companies that do this for you. We also offer something similar to where We make sure that your site is clean and is not hacked, and that it's always backed up, and there's always a clean, uh, safe backup of your website. Now, there's a lot of topics, and I just made this, really quick. In the link, there'll be a full blog post, the guide to pretty much um, finding out if you've been blacklisted, and if you are, how to get unblacklisted. And some of the other questions that the blog post answers is, um, what if your site hasn't been hacked? And let's say you've gone through all the links and you're not linking to any malicious sites, or you can't really find out what the issue is, and you feel you're 100% sure that you're not doing anything, and Google's just giving you a false warning. There's instructions on how to get that cleared up, and also more information on how to get your site unblacklisted, going through Google and other channels to kind of remedy the situation. So check out the link, read the guide. If you find it useful, please share it. Thank you.